welcome to Critical Reroll episode 143, where we talk about Critical Role episode 67 that I don't remember the title of. I am Dustin, and while I might not be an invisible stalker, I am currently, right now, a visible talker.
Oh, hi, it's me, Jess. And, I just think that not all zombies are heartless.
Hi friends, I am your third host. I am Kate, and please do not smush your spiders. We need them.
Need them to clear out pesky adventurer.
Yes.
Spiders are friends, not smoosh.
Exactly.
Just talk about Edwin in my shower. I talk to him every morning. So hi guys, we're here to talk about Critical Role, because we're Critical Reroll, and so this week's episode, this previous Thursday's episode, saw them delving farther into this dark temple. We kind of get them. We start back off with, because we had left with not going invisible and going into the partially exposed tower around these weird angel statues. I think we kind of start up again with the group outside talking about stuff. Jester does do a neat thing that I thought is really good. She had taken a skull from one of the angel skeletons, I think, and had asked, like, is it okay if we take this and maybe talk to it later? Which I think would maybe help them find out more. I was hoping they would. Hopefully we'll get to see that. But I thought that was really cool because, you can speak with undead is a fun spell.
So helpful at times. So helpful.
Yeah,
and maybe we could just learn more about this weird tower.
Just give me the lore. Just give me the lore.
Right? I want to know why everyone's crying.
Because it's a bad place.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bad place.
Also, why were they told to come here and no one's here?
Like, how did this... okay, so, like, Oban said, hey, come, right? And he's, like, got through here, like... Because and we jump ahead, but this is Critical Reroll. I mean, we always jump ahead a little bit. Because they talk to him later, and he's like, keep coming, just be careful. Like, how did the fuck did you get down here so easily? Because... Yeah, go ahead.
I have a theory.
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Kind of. I'm still working it out, still workshopping, figuring this out. So we know Oban knows Yasha as Orphan Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? That's been established.
I
so
think
he's
we do,
bring her. And this place is creepy, old, evil, betrayer, god, demons, fiends, all that wonderful darkness kind of stuff, right? Yes?
Probably doesn't have any parents either. Darkness.
Huh.
Yeah,
nope. My thought is that we're going to finally find out a little bit about whatever demon or fiend or bad guy that made Yasha fall.
I remember you were talking to me about this earlier.
That's what I think's going to come up during this. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Because
I was kind of,
like a Yasha arc. Like Matt's kind of like, yeah, we have Ashley here. We're going to start playing with this a little bit more.
Yep.
So that's what I'm hoping this is leading to, and that's how this guy knows her from whatever that fiendish, demonic, evil little guy sitting on her shoulder falling demon kind of connection is.
We know that she has a chunk of lost time, and she worked with it, or she was either controlled by a demon or was in a demon.
Became fallen.
Yeah, and became
she
fallen.
Sauntered vaguely downwards, for those who understand that.
I just finished that, so I completely understand what that means. Temptation successful. Yes, she did saunter vaguely downwards, keeping the wrong company. But yeah, I was hoping that maybe we get a little flavor of that. I also do like Neverwinter Fool in chat being like, he's not even there, he just lured them to die.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Like,
very, very possible.
Seriously.
It's entirely possible. Because we get them running into... Well, we get not running into the room, and we get Caleb role-playing, like looking back and forth at everyone talking after the fact that Caleb not just ran into a room, and then Caleb's like, are we just going to forget that she just ran into a room invisible?
Well,
Like,
don't do that.
Are we gonna go?
Those damn rogues.
So then,
That's what they do.
That's what happens.
Can't trust them. They stab you in the back, sneak up on you.
They do it from behind and then run face first into webbing.
And that's exactly what she does.
Oh
She
boy.
runs face first into webbing. and we get the spider room, guys.
Spiders!
There's spiders! Someone come help me!
Spiders!
I just love it. Watch out for the spiders! There's spiders! Watch out!
What
I
is-
love Travis. Like, is that a squeaky door? Like, what's that?
Sam's voice got up there pretty high.
Yeah, and so they're in a spider room, and not just
Spider room,
does whatever a spider room does. And you know what a spider room
tries
does?
to kill you.
Filled with
That's what a
really
spider
weird, hot-blooded. Check it and see. These spiders got a fever of 103.
Hey.
The entire time, Matt has like described like either the ichor, because that's the word of this campaign now.
Yes.
Right now is ichor.
Yes.
As big, like hot, not like burning hot, but like uncomfortably hot, like. And especially because, like, I don't know about you guys, but when Matt brought out weird spiky boss spider,
Boss mom.
we were trying to figure out. Kate, you and I were in voice chat the entire time, and we're trying to figure out what the fudge this thing was.
I looked through so much and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like they all had like some sort of demon.
Yeah,
deal.
we do know it's not a beast. Matt did clarify that during the stream. So yeah, it's got to be some fiendish kind of demonic-y. I don't know which one it is, but it's not good.
No, and so I mean, it was that one was really had like spikes and like a stinger.
Yeah.
And it had a really cool like shoot web and like pull you into it sort of thing, because it like went straight for Caleb and pulled him in.
You know what it made me think of? Do y'all know? Oh no, I'm now one of those people that said the thing and I can't remember what the word is. There's a horror video game where you play like either the murderer or one of 4 possible victims, and the entire thing the murderer is doing is trying to get you up on this big ass hook. And like just the way that they got like hooked, he's describing them being like hooked through the chest, and like I could not get that picture out of my head.
I mean,
What games are you playing, girl?
Yeah. Oh, and like to further Dead by Daylight. Thank you, Lab Rat. Thank you so much. It's Dead by Daylight. That's the game it made me think of. And if anyone knows those visuals, kind of them going up on the hook, and then like if you do not succeed in saving that person off the hook, these like long, spindly spider legs come out and take them in, and that is all I could imagine.
No, I don't want it.
Well, that's what this room was to me.
Oh, I don't like it at all.
And not unlike Travis, who gave us wonderful faces as you very much noped out of this whole room.
I will always love Travis, and for such a big guy, just such a because I feel that in my soul.
That spider was a lot of nope, though. That big mama spider.
I mean, giant spiders. I mean, I like tiny spiders. I'll let them live. But if there's a spider as big as my room, I'm fucking noping out of there.
He described it as like 5 feet across with the body. And that was that the little ones? I don't remember.
So.
Like,
well, and then the big one had like horns running down its back.
It had the mandibles, the pincers.
Yeah.
And then
I felt left out, so I had to participate.
Giant mandibles, and a large curled stinger. I'm like, no.
And
it was. Did it have the wolf color? No, it was the body was gray, and then
that was like black and red.
It had like black and reds.
Yeah, but it had like
stripes on it.
All the way down it. And like it had like pupils to all of its little eyes.
Or like had little
like red eyes with like white like
something. Yeah, no.
like just his face right now.
Tell me more about these spiders. Sorry.
Well, Spider Mom.
But can we talk about this whole game and Ashley breaking her normal initiative rolls? Because
yes,
she was high.
She was
on
okay.
A lot
Well,
of
let's
rolls.
remember she asked the Stormlord for a blessing, and he gave it.
Yeah,
he gave her that blessing. Like as they were like going in, and she was asking for that. Yeah, like
She has the gift of alacrity.
Yeah. But yeah, but Matt was describing like the storm kind of brewing after she had spoken to the Stormlord, and
give me the Yasha content.
Yes, that's while we need as much as possible while we have her. We don't have her all the time, and like we're understanding of that. She's busy. Like, I get you, but we have her right now. So let's have all of her right now. Please.
Yes.
All of the Yasha
Take all
content.
squeeze all that Yasha content into our eyeballs.
And on the beautiful high rolls. On the
Yeah,
initiative,
and she did some good stuff. She brought out Magician's Judge. I like that she stuck with her original sword. And,
not the creepy blade.
Yeah, that weird, like, hold it like a weed whacker blade? I don't know.
Yeah. Wasn't it just, it had like a hook at the end or something like that?
But
It had
it's
like
just a blade.
but
It has like a...
it didn't have a hilt. It had just like 2 handles
Blah.
on the blade, and you could just like...
It's like a bat left, but only on one side.
Yeah.
But bigger on the one side.
Mhm.
Giant, weird
like
machete thing.
Yeah. Like if you put 2 iron handles, like the handle on an iron, and just put them on a big blade. Plus, the Skin Gorger is just a gross name.
Yeah, it's such a gross freaking name. But like, once again, let's not... Orphan Maker, not a great name still.
No,
like, as much
that's
as I,
true.
like, love her and I want to know the background and I do want to hear the band.
She did offer it up.
It's up for grabs.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's up for grabs. Like, anyone that wants it can
have
take
it.
it.
Because
So we get
Not was an orphan maker as well after that deliciously horrific blow on the mama.
Sorry, Mama.
God's
do.
rogues are disgusting.
Yeah, jeez, every
Oh,
once in a
that
while,
critical
just
role,
rogues
like-
lose
yeah.
lose it. Just
Yeah,
whoosh.
that critical roll on the spider. Oh, look, I said the name of the show.
Hey!
Hey! So not roll the 20 and with the sneak attack damage, it ended up being 68 damage on one shot. Like, just
I'm having a moment, just
ridiculous.
reliving
Are you-
it.
Okay, just live in the dice. Live in the dice damage of... Are you good? Are you good?
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Clear yourself up with that sneak attack. It was a good shot, and then she got, because she critted, she got another extra shot. Like, that spider was donezo. Ridiculous. Plus, he like rolled really well, like all his d6s. Like he had high six, like mostly 6s. Like, it was just a good. Of course, now whatever they find out at the bottom of this thing, or wherever they're going, we lost those odds. But yeah, I mean, they wasted these spiders pretty decently. Not a lot of damage. Not a lot of people got hurt, but they did waste a lot of spells. And then they found like a pit covered in mist. Is the next thing, if I'm remembering this correctly. And not tried to like walk on the mist. Because I did see a bunch of people in chat try and be like, and I think this was even in Jess's chat in her stream when she hosts it. Just like, oh, you know, mist is water. You can use the ring of water walking on mist. And like, well, nope, that depends on the DM.
We did get them searching the egg sacs too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the egg sack. No, I didn't.
How could you forget about the egg sacs?
I blocked that out of my mind because as Laura told the story about
Laura's creepy
spiders and
story.
egg sacks, I also have a spider egg sack story that I don't like to think about.
I love that Travis was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And she's like, "I have
this
to tell
story.
you this story."
Nope, I
I
have
love
an
you,
exact
Laura
similar-
Bailey. I love you. Thank you.
Oh.
But like,
I have an attic cleaning story with an egg sack, and it's not pretty.
But
Yeah.
like they had sulfury smells. Like that's
Yeah.
these are
even
spiders.
creepier.
So
These are
demon
demon
spiders or
I think,
devil
like,
spiders or
Some sort of abyssal spider.
And does that connect back to like all the way at the beginning when they were dealing with the phase spiders that were like
I don't think so. I mean, 'cause
weird,
this,
spooky,
but, like,
evil spiders?
like we know this
Yeah,
There was
whole,
no
like,
phasing with this one, so I don't
This
think
is all
so,
like
but...
Shadowfell kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we know that this fortress that they're going into used to be like a deceiver god like place, right? And we know kind of that there's some sort of demonic abyssal.
Fiendish
theme
Shadowfell
going on, yeah.
Yeah.
So like these things have just been like living in here, and then I just love that they did the scorching ray and it's just the horrific imagining of just a bunch of spiders on fire coming out of the egg sac, which is even more horrible because they're not instantly dead; they're just on fire and running for their lives.
And then spreading the fire?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, wow.
I do like that Yasha realized that these spiders are not for eating.
Because I do feel like there was some talk of like
Well, she had
Spider
collected
did
some
later. Yeah.
we may need to eat later, and then
That had happened before
Yeah.
when they were traveling, and like she and Jester both ate the spider legs, and she was fine, and Jester was not.
Yeah.
When they were, was that with the giants?
Yeah, those were the giants,
Yeah.
and the giants laughed at poor Jester.
Poor Jester and her upset belly.
Poor Jester.
But yeah, then they got the creepy mist.
Yes.
Or they found the what did they find in the egg sack? They found something. Didn't they find something?
they found a key. They found a key.
Yeah, the key.
I don't remember what that key was for.
I don't.
Did they figure out what the key was for?
I don't think they. I don't think they.
out what the
I
key
don't
was
think they
for,
found out.
Roger.
I don't think they found out.
They found a belt with an iron ring with a key on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they find the mist, and then we get a trigger of something we haven't seen in a long time, which Sundu would be very happy about. What do we get? We get hourglass.
Magic time, flippy
I
upside down
almost
thingy.
forgot the word again.
You
I
know,
forgot.
the sand time flippy majigger.
The sand time flippy kerjigger. Kerjigger. As that old lady in Futurama says.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
Abyssal hive spider. Oh, someone's tweeting.
That's a homebrew.
Yeah.
So
the
yeah.
Bebelith and then the abyssal hive spider. That's a homebrew too. Anyway. Yeah, we get an hourglass, and we get sort of like a timed thing.
This is the first time challenge of this campaign. Yes.
Yes.
I think it is.
I think it's the
think
first.
so.
Yeah, I think it was the first time challenge of this campaign.
But they don't make it the time challenge because the hourglass.
It was a different type of time challenge. So he was doing every time the hourglass ran out, another spark of electricity went through the fog.
I didn't catch
So
up.
it wasn't, so
Okay.
it wasn't a time challenge for them to get through the whole thing. It was just how much damage was going to pile up from them being in there.
Yeah, and so apparently this fog, like we find out, because of course monks with their insane flippin' movement and bonus action or key points, step of the wind or whatever can get. Bo gets all the way down to the bottom, but each time as they're going, this fog is electrifying and shocking everyone.
Mhm.
And there's an invisible stalker who just pops up and does a couple punches on people as they're like getting down here. But we learn that as this fog is like going off, electrifying and shocking everyone, it's building damage over time. So it's actually like a really good thing that Bo gets down to the bottom. Go ahead.
And it absorbs damage and then shoots it back out.
Yes,
Because that happened
that's
with the
right.
Eldritch
Yeah.
Blast.
Yeah.
Like, Travis hit the thing with an Eldritch Blast, and we're like, yeah, you're taking extra damage now because it shoots it right back at you.
Yeah, it's a really good trap. It was a really good trap.
We did have King Sundu in chat point out that there was an hourglass in the Snake Temple. So this is not the first time challenge.
I trust Sundu because
Yep.
he collects hourglasses, and
This
so
is
he knows
kinda
when
his
there's an
jam.
hourglass. Yes, this is his sandy jam.
Sandy Jam, no, that sounds terrible, and I do not want
mean,
it.
I've had jam.
I did like this trap a lot.
Yes,
No,
no,
this
it
was
was very
such
cool.
a cool
And when Matt
mechanic.
pulled out that map, like the way it was like, covered so they didn't know exactly what was coming, but you could see it was tiered. And
Yeah, it was
like,
super cool to see a
Awesome.
tower, like, so you could see, like, the tower in its entirety, but, just separated out so you could watch them go down it. That was a good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
If I had money for, like, Dwarven Forge and I had, like, in-person games,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other issue.
those would be so much fun to have because they're so pretty.
It was a
they're
really,
absolutely
really cool trap.
gorgeous.
I did think Bo was gonna get like bug zapped at the bottom of it though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, when she like reached for I was like, oh god, no. Why?
I was worried that because there's a few different trap options here. The first person making it down too fast could be a problem, or like one person getting down, everyone still being up further, causing it to shift downwards faster, like almost if they have to work as a unit, and like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. There was a few ways in which I was worried it could get worse from
Oh
there.
yeah, definitely.
But luckily
It didn't.
it didn't. I mean, it wasn't great.
At least not in this instance.
Yes. Yes. But electrified mist is very cool. Like
Yeah,
so-
that whole just the tower being filled with a charging mist that then just goes off. Like, there's no way to escape it. You got to just move and get down. And then having the issue of the invisible stalker just popping up and wailing on you.
Mm-hmm.
We also, I've skipped it, back with the egg sacs, though, Caleb got a scroll.
Oh, yep.
He got a prayer of healing.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Or not a prayer of healing. Gosh, what was it? Protection from energy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Protection from energy.
Yep.
Which is a spell not a lot of people use.
Yep.
But who knows?
Would have come in handy in the lightning trap.
Little bit too late. Little bit. Not something
Yep.
you're thinking about when the timer comes out and you're just hurrying down. Although, if anyone did stop to read a scroll in that situation, it would be Caleb.
True.
Yeah. So Bo gets down to the bottom, grabs the crystal, like a crystal pedestal, which was like a cute little crystal thing in the map too. It reminded me of like Sailor Moon stuff or whatever.
Mm.
And then they're in the next room.
Well, because there was a door down there as well,
Mhm.
Right.
And the key they
but
found
there was
fit
no
in-
handle or anything. So yeah, so that's where they put the key in.
The key,
Yeah.
the key did go in there.
Which makes me wonder, which is another thing, like, okay, this Oban guy, is he really down here? Because
Yeah.
that key...
Or there's
worked
another
on-
entrance.
Or like he has some way to just teleport in,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Very much possible.
I mean,
or
'cause
some sort
he's
of
the one that's
was-
doing, like, the abyssal things, right?
But he was also looking for something in the sand or the dirt before, so he very well could have been looking for a
No, I've said
piece
it
that could
every
have
single
sent it
time
in.
I've been on this. Like, why are they trusting this guy to just,
Yeah,
like, hey,
seriously.
come to Bezazan and bring her? Like, these kids.
yeah.
Bad shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
Either he sent them in first and he's letting them deal with all the shit, or
He's not there.
or he's not there. He's not there, period, and he's just hoping they die along the way, or he has some alternate way in, but there's no way he did all this stuff too.
No, like, I mean, they're just blindly trusting things.
Well, but like, what choice do you have sometimes? Sometimes you feel like you kind of
guess.
just
I
need
guess.
to.
I mean, it's fair. It's something that I've done in games too.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you just assume the DM is like leading you on the right path, right? But that might not always be.
He knows these players very,
Yeah,
very
he
well,
does.
as he has proven in the past with many heartbreaking moments when they were just a little too trigger happy and
Yeah.
looked down a
These
couple
are his
people that
best
they shouldn't
friends. He
have.
knows the best way to manipulate them.
Mhm.
Guys, here's a shiny. Okay, we're going there.
And he's just like, yes, I knew you would do this.
Right?
Wait till I show you what I have down here.
Guys, here's a boat. Okay.
But remember, like in the beginning, they were so skeptical of everything,
Yep.
and now they're just like so trusting of everything.
Yeah, you know what? You win/lose if you do. You win/lose if you don't.
No,
So
it's
you
100%
just
true.
you do this stuff, and they're doing this stuff, and it's interesting, and like
Never Wonderful in chat said, here's a chair.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes you harp on the chair and then you just listen to the random voice that tells you to do something.
Yep.
This is
They are
this is what I
pure,
love about D&D.
Yep.
pure chaotic energy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's
they are
exactly what this
100%.
is.
Yep.
While Vox Machina may have been semi put together and thought about their thing.
Which is terrifying in retrospect. You're
Uh-huh.
like, wait, Vox Machina was the adults?
Well, I just love Marisha had tweeted like, you know, when fans like say like you're messed up, you don't know how to plan, you do all sorts of stuff, but boy can you guys act. And you're just like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But sometimes the Mighty Nine, I just love how horrible decision makers they are, and it ends up for great content.
I don't know about you guys, but when I play D&D, I don't want to spend all my time like planning and strategizing.
No.
It's not my jam.
But it definitely depends on the character you're playing, too.
Yes.
Because I've had characters who were very much those, I'm going to open this sarcophagus and then climb inside it because why not?
Yep.
Like,
Nope.
clearly
Yep.
that's not a good idea, but that's the first thought that pops into their head to maybe solve this trap.
Yep.
I've had planning PCs, and then I've had PCs that just go in full bore, whatever. It all depends on what you're like. I mean, Jess and I are in a game where we don't do any of that, so we just go whatever things that comes into our mind at the time. So they go into the next room, which ends up being the most interesting room in this episode. Because it has the most interesting mechanic that I still don't understand.
Yeah, do not understand.
So they're in this room, and it's got two slits. It's got two openings on the side that are sort of these ramping down things.
Yeah.
And they're literally just full with undead. And we get a really awesome turn undead that turns into destroy undead, where it's just like Sauron in the opening of Lord of the Rings when he's just swinging his mace through crowds of people and just like whoop, whoop.
Destroy undead is so much fun.
She was just destroying things left and right.
Normally when you're playing a cleric, you are so focused on healing, which is a lot of people talk about as a downfall of clerics, is that you don't get to do so much fun with the damage and with other supports. So when you get to bust out a destroy undead like that, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little cathartic to just be able to just like instantly destroy things.
Yes. Especially when the other so in my own campaign, like the other characters were like doing body counts, like Legolas and Gimli, and they're like, I caught 49, and I'm just like, bam, with my cleric, and just destroyed like a whole.
Well, it's like even reminiscent of that time in Whitestone when Avatar Pike jumps up and like comes down and just like obliterates a wave of skeletons.
Holy hand grenade.
And we get a hint from Matt with Caduceus early on that he sees something happen like in this undead, that there's like this glowing heart and it like falls back down in among the things. And this becomes the thing that I've watched this twice, and I really tried to pay attention the second time to try and understand what this was.
Yep.
Because certain zombies would drop a glowing heart.
Yep.
Otherwise, it was mostly just like a gray heart.
Yep.
And they needed 3 of these hearts.
Yes. So basically, Matt just kept them searching for a heart of gold.
If anyone's in here a fan of Neil Young.
But I was like, I remember watching it live. I was like, are these random loot drops? Are these like specific loot drops? And they were testing stuff. You know what I mean? They were doing trial and error. They were literally like, maybe it's like this kind of damage. Maybe it's like this kind of like, maybe it has to be magic. But it still really felt like a mixed bag. And dear Matthew Mercer, please tell us what.
Please explain, because I want to know.
Because he was like rolling, and he's like, gray heart, glowing heart, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
was it radiant damage?
It wasn't the radiant damage
though, because they tested that.
Dropped. Well, so there were 2 things that they were testing. One, when they first were doing it, they believed that only the radiant damage would kill the zombies, which was wrong. They could die other ways, but they were making their saves because they had that the resilient kind of thing that happens.
They have a chance to
generate a hit point or something, and just pop back up. So they were playing with that first before even the heart drops started, and then they kind of stuck to the radiant and thought if that was it. But there were the Jester's second, or I think it was Jester's second turn undead, or I forget if Caduceus did it or if Jester did. But the second one, there were ones that were killed flat out on that one with the radiant damage, and it didn't do anything. Or no, it was Jester's swirly unicorns. Were radiant, and they killed some.
Guardian Spirit.
Yeah, she did Spirit Guardians. And they were dropped. They dropped gray hearts. So my thought, and I didn't get to do a rewatch of that specific part. I want to know if it was a different damage because I wasn't paying attention. My thought is either it was the ones that made a certain number of saves. So if like these ones had done 2 or 3 hold-ons or did the resilient kind of things and were able to stay up, like that was triggering the heart, or if it was a different kind of damage that we weren't really tracking, something along the lines of a necrotic that isn't as used as often with this group. But there are a couple of them who do hit with necrotic every now and then, like Jester with Toll the Dead and things like that. So if that was triggering it.
Or, I mean, it could have just been random stuff.
Completely random.
Well, and then Jan Allenson in chat was like, wasn't the room called the discard pits? Like, what is coming up if these are the discards from some horrible upcoming thing that was the successful one? And just like, yeah, because like, what I love about the new like camera map is that it gives like the name of what room they're in.
Yeah.
It's like Matt never like says that, but the map cam always has like the name of the room, and it's just like discard pits. Yeah, whatever was going on here, they're just discarding these undead zombies.
So many of them, because a couple of them looked into this to the slatted sides to see how far the dead bodies went out, and they're like, yeah, no, you can't see where it ends. It just keeps going. It goes and goes and goes. There's just thousands of these things underneath you.
That's
creepy.
Yeah, I'm still wondering like the overall flavor of this temple has been a bit of a mixed bag. And it's just like, what is its actual intended purpose? Who is this for?
All it kept reminding me of was like the first Harry Potter, where they're going through to find the Mirror of Ezra, and it's like all these creepy little tasks they have to do. I'm like, but this is like super dark, evil verse.
Yeah.
Like, here's a key, go catch it, it's flying. No, you must kill all these zombies and pray that you get a glowing heart.
A glowing heart, yeah. You have to rip, I'm thinking Indiana Jones style, like the heart out of, like the chest.
Yeah.
Like Bo
Which
just
they
like
did.
Yeah,
Which
just like
Joshua straight up did.
Yeah.
Bam.
Well, I love that like Bo did one too, but I think it still was somewhat attached with like sinew and stuff. So imagine going in for that super badass like heart
we
rip.
didn't know what color that one was though.
Well, I think
it could have been a live one that was stuck in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Matt described it graying in her hand or something like that. So I think it like...
Well, the one that was... I don't remember. There was a lot of hearts that happened. A lot of hearts dropped. There was a lot of hearts that dropped.
Yeah. So that was a real rough room. And I like that. I think before we even got into that room fully, or I'm not sure if it was while they were in there or they... Not was still bugging everyone about her alcohol. Not was still like, hey, you got it, like took the time. And I like specifically when she talked to Bo and she's like, Bo, did you steal it? And Bo's like, nah, bruh, if I stole it, I'd be like flaunting it. I'd be all like rubbing it in your face and stuff. And Not's like, that checks out. That's true.
Right.
You would totally like
that face that Jester made at Yasha when Yasha handed wine over.
Bo handed the wine over. Yeah.
I mean, that was just like Laura, just like
what you doing?
Yeah.
What you doing? Yep.
All right, guys.
Because Bo has some of her family wine still.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Not downed it.
I'm gonna read King Sundu in chat said, I mean, it's a place where dozens of Celestials died. They died to seal something, so I'm imagining that this is the focal point of all negative planes, Shadowfell, Abyssal, Hells, and Far Realms. So that is a fun idea, kind of like what you were saying, Kate, where like from, you know, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, where the kids had to go through the different rooms, each with a different type of magic they had to defeat, almost like, hey, well, these spiders are from this plane, and these demons, you know what I mean, these undead are from this plane. What are they gonna have to deal with next?
Yeah.
Like,
and it kind of goes along with our theories we were talking about before, with this being a nexus of some sort, where these portals, for lack of a better term, are opening up, and all of this stuff is creeping in from these other planes. And whether that means if some gates are being destroyed and the barriers between the different planes are falling because of whatever external force is going on right now, be it destroyer gods trying to come back, Vecna's defeat from before causing a major shift
Yeah, we
in
don't know like what
divine powers.
Like shoving Vecna beyond the divine gate. Like, did that do something to the divine gate?
Right, and there was already one out there. So there had one other god had been banished that way, which is the big bad main destroyer god, whose name is Thrasadun, I think it was.
Thrasadun, yeah.
Yeah. So can two of them not be exiled? Did he knock him out?
Well,
Like,
and we have a very
bam.
We have a very like this whole season of Critical Role has been very into this lieutenants of these old gods too, like with Uk'otoa and whatever may be in this wherever they are, like whatever's sealed away here. But then it's the age-old question in D&D is, can you just take a long rest anywhere?
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. But I mean, that's such a, like, legit... Like, you're like, we are tired, we need to rest, but is it safe? Like,
is it, like, yeah, how safe is it to actually... Secret? Like, even if you have...
Is it safe? Sorry.
Even if you have the dome, things can't get into it, but they can wait outside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, yes, fine, good. Do not throw something into a pit.
Fool of a took. Sorry, it is non-stop Lord of the Rings references right now.
I mean, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings references that apply to this sort of situation.
Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. That's tonight.
Why? 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 Why are you poking the demon bears? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they have stretched their resources thin, and a lot of them are low on a lot of things. But they're in a fucking ancient dwelling of the Deceiver gods. Like,
there's still no reason to throw the ball bearing into the castle.
Oh, and the noise thing. The whole thing with the noise and, like... Oh, man, that's so creepy and spooky.
Even the noise upsetting it. Like, I can understand that being at least a more logical progression where you're like, oh, shoot, I accidentally talked too loud and this set it off. You don't actively try to throw something into the pit to see what it disturbs.
But also, what if you did, though? Kate, you do not want to be on my team.
I mean...
If I'm on your team, I'm not playing cleric, Mom. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not being the cleric if I'm playing with you.
Depending on my PC, yeah, it would.
You can have my rogue. You can have my chaotic rogue, and all be good.
You have to do science, though. Like, I have to be the one that's like, you gotta do science.
Not at that point. Wait until you do your long rest.
I mean, okay, yeah, probably.
You already know there is a bridge that is crossing this chasm. You know you can't see into it. Wait until you have more resources, because if you stir something up, what if that had brought them up? What if that was more than just the stunning effect, which Matt rolled for? That could have been so much worse than them going catatonic for 6 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot about all that weirdness stuff. Yeah, with the whispers. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I both do and don't want to know more.
I mean, that's typical with all of Matt's stuff lately. Is just like, no, I don't want to know what that is. Oh, but please tell me what that was.
I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a legit thing.
Yeah, no.
And, that's what we're going to find out.
I know.
That's what we'll find out next week.
Although, I will say, Yasha's whole thing about Caleb tying everybody together with the alarms thread, and her being like, no. I'm really, really curious. I wish people had done a little bit more insight check on that one, because something's happening there. And it was kind of just like the I don't like being trapped, I don't want to be in the middle kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even that was played off after he said, wait, no, you're in the middle, I have to untie everyone. That was kind of played off that. So there's something else going on there, and I'm super, super curious to see what happens next week with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't help but think about the description of the room and like Caduceus doing that perception check and getting that absolute silence and just how fucking creepy like that.
Yes!
Like there's something so much more creepy about that. I don't know.
Because there's nothing there. Like the bugs, whatever life and creatures would normally be in that kind of setting, bats, things of that nature, aren't there because it's going to upset the things in the pit.
A few people in chat are saying Labrat, Sundew, Chinscar. Everyone's discussing the fact that Yasha's had to bounce before. Yasha's like been on the run before. Do you think she'll run? Do you think she'll? I
don't know if it's the fight or flight thing. I don't think it's her thinking she has to run away from this. I think she is thinking more, I might have to run to draw whatever away from these people. If they want me, if this is something coming after me, then I need to go to deflect whatever is coming in for these people who are my now family.
I can see it more as like a protective, like I don't want this to hurt other people.
Right.
Or that I'm growing.
And we have like they're so like they're settling down, but they're so unsettled. You know what I mean? Which is legit because it's a very like creepy, unsettling place. And we have Jester send that message and be like, we have her. How much further is it? What is this place? Did you know about those gold hearts? Like, you know what I mean? With all these questions and stuff. And Oban just gets back like, oh yes, like I've made my way there as well. I'm glad you've kept. I wouldn't want to see you spoiled. What?
Like, please, if that's not like
milk, like meat. What are we talking about here, sir?
That's not good termage right there. Like,
do not like this verbiage.
That's red flag. Like, hello, red flag, red flag, red flag. There's something going on here. Why is he saying if you're spoiled? They are walking into just a big shit storm. I swear to God. Oh man, but I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. So next week we get to deal with the bridge, right? That's basically.
That's gonna be the first thing. Is if they're gonna be able to get the long rest.
Well, yeah, we're gonna see what happens for the long rest.
Because that was definitely you can try to take a long rest, and we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
So that's exciting. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Poor Travis was noping so hard during this entire episode, though. He's definitely one of the people going back and rewatching older episodes, even this campaign and last campaign. He's still one of my absolute favorite people to focus on.
Oh yeah,
rewatches because he's such a spoopy.
he's such a sweet spoopy boy. Like he's a sweet, sensitive spooper, and like I feel that. I feel that too. I feel that, Travis.
I feel that. I feel that.
I also do not like haunted houses, so I'll wait with you outside, Travis. Let's not go in.
He's gotta go in, man. He's got it. We raised him. He's gotta go in.
We'll just sit outside and drink a coffee and wait for everyone to come out and tell us how scary it was.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's what I do. I don't like them.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Do we have any
other
questions?
Have
one question from King Sundew, and it's more of like a general question. Because you guys, we have this form. If you type !form in the chat, it's the same link. We have it every week. Feel free to drop us a question, and we will answer it live on stream, like we are about to do right now. And so King Sundew sent us this question. So far, we've seen various monster races in Xhorhas behave in generally civilized and welcoming manner. The Mighty Nine has in the past slain gnolls who are simply agents of destruction. Are these classic monster races evil by nature, or does the fact that Xhorhas operates under Beacon cause these monster races to be elevated in morality?
I don't know if it's necessarily a game mechanic. I do like the whole idea that the Luxon may be affecting them from a game standpoint, but I think it's just Matt playing with what people expect.
I also like you can bring up the Luxon. I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's a mechanic. I don't think that the Luxon gives what you might argue as classically evil or classically unintelligent creatures, more thought, more insight, more, you know what I mean? But I think it's just the culture. I think like literally
Yeah.
it's the culture of that area, and more people are allowed to join into the culture and be part of it, as opposed to hey, you must stay outside of society, and like because of that you're gonna live a wild life, you're gonna live in a wild community in which you are, for in the case of Knowles, a agent of chompy destruction,
Well,
so
I agree in that, like in Jorhas, they can all just be what they are, and then it sort of leads that interesting question if you're like me and you think too much into things, like how bad are humans in just always assuming everything's shitty and like always like killing. Yeah, goblins raid and gnolls raid and things like that, but like look at what they do in a society when they should just be themselves. They're all just doing their thing. I don't think the Luxon has anything to do with it in like a mechanic sort of way. I think it's more of just like, hey, these races have cultures too, and it's more in that there's a historical bigotry, maybe. Like this is me overthinking things again, but like there's a historical bigotry in like the Empire and with other human civilizations where it's just like, oh, those are goblins, those are bad, we kill them no matter what.
Well, also
There's
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was saying there's a big theme going through this campaign with the idea of propaganda and not necessarily believing what you are told straight off the bat, and being indoctrinated into certain ideas and having knowledge withheld or censored and things of that type, which we saw very early on with the Empire. Like, you can only worship certain gods. You can only, read these certain books. These other things are banned. So when that is applied to a strictly, or not strictly human, but majorly human area, then what do you use as the villains?
Yeah.
And how do you portray those villains?
And Sundu asked more in the chat, like, what about monster races like Gnolls who worship a demon prince versus the Gnolls in Jorhas?
Well, that's what I was gonna say before.
But like, not everyone. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say was that it's interesting to specifically think on Knolls, but it is also you can relate it to kind of thinking about the Drow here, where like you look at Knolls in typical D&D lore and you look at Drow in typical D&D lore, and they both sort of follow a darker god or goddess. Like, Knolls are literally corrupted hyenas. Like, they are literally... But, that being said, once they are created, they simply, they're living creatures. Should they be outside of that influence? Should they, like, similar to the Drow? Sure, like, you have those ones that follow Loth and whatever, but, like, here you have openness and freedom and the option to do the Luxon or the option not to, and then guess what? People be people. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I think it's relevant just in that, like, if you're pulled outside of, like, if you're not just 100% under that influence, then of course you could be different.
Well, yeah, and like Jess said, like, we have examples of not everyone in Jorhas follows the Luxon. I mean, there was a Gnoll that follows the Traveler.
Yep.
Like, I mean, and we don't know what. Not everyone serves under the Luxon. Not everyone worships under the Luxon. We know that the Drow of Roshana,
the Kryn Dynasty,
the Kryn Dynasty worships the Luxon, but like everyone on this side in Jorhas sort of is just surviving in the wilds of Jorhas, and they may worship thing or another. But yeah, it's a very interesting viewpoints that Matt has like exposed us to.
I love him subverting tropes and playing with these.
Oh yeah, I always love a good trope.
Yeah, that's why I was so happy when we got to come over to this part of the map.
Yeah, because there's just, in so much literature and so much TTRPG movies, books, everything of that nature, you get just a very one-sided view of things. You only know of certain characters because of what other characters say and things of that. So that drives your opinions of those characters. And it might not be until you get their viewpoint that something else is completely going on. And I love, love, love that with these quote unquote more monstrous races that Matt's doing.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And as someone who likes to play the monstrous races, it's fun to be able to play them and not like be considered like monster, because kobolds are flippin' fun. Everyone should just love kobolds.
Who's the monster? It's the question. Who's the monsters in this campaign?
Who's the real monsters here?
Is the real monsters? Just don't know. Is it adventurers?
Yes.
Sometimes it feels like it's adventurers.
It's the adventurers. They beat up all the monsters who are just trying to eat. They're just trying to get some foods to feed their babies, and then these people come into their homes and kill them.
So thank you for that question, Sundu, because it was really it's really good to
it's
discuss.
fun. Yeah,
it's really interesting, and like I really like the examples, like I said, of the gnolls and the drow, because they are so famous for, you know, following a specific sort of like mandated deity and way of existing and stuff like that. But there's no reason why, taken outside of that influence, they wouldn't be different. And even just like the not super monstrous, we have the bugbears that we saw that were just like nomadic hunters. Like that's you know, that's not something you ever see written about in any lore, but you could totally see it fitting those people in that setting. Like it fits. Like,
and Wizards of the Coast keeps coming out with more and more of these non-human races. It's like we've seen, you know, elephant people introduced and more lizard people. Like there's griff, so like there's hippo people out there.
Heckin' yeah.
So
sorry.
The fact that we're now adding these other extended races is so much fun.
Yeah. And
that you can start really playing with that, and you don't have to follow, you know, these people are evil. The end.
I'm yeah. Like Jan Allenson is saying in chat, like just even just the simple action of Mercer taking the drow away from Loth.
Yep.
That small difference is so good and interesting and provides you with so much. Like it just takes it well away from what is it subverts it so much in such a simple
what is like
action.
A toxic matriarchy sort of thing and turning it into more of a positive sort of like, yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's our episode, guys. We will find out if they get to rest and what dangers are ahead of them and how deep this whole thing goes.
Don't throw any more ball bearings down there to find out.
That's not something we can control.
Do it. Do it. For anyone that's listening on the audio podcast, you're missing the excellent faces that Kate is making at me right now, and feel free to come hang out with us sometimes on the in the Twitch. You know,
Sunday nights.
Twitch.tv/Critical Reroll. Sunday nights at 9 p.m. EST. Come hang out, come chat, come be part of this discussion. Or if you can't make it, join in by sending in a question on that form we got. You know.
Yeah, and if you are listening to the podcast, like us, subscribe to us, rate us. That helps us move up in the searchy thingies, I think.
The podcast worlds.
It's helpful. And for tonight, I have been Dustin at GeoNerd. You can find me on GeoNerd on Twitter.
I am Jess. You can find me at @ghost_JG in most of those online places.
And I am Kate. You can find me at SeaMonster on Twitter and Twitch. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. Have a great night.
Stay away from those demonic temples.
And don't kill spiders. Let them outside.